Oh, works on the phone, not on the camera. I'll leave that there for half a second, all right? New title. I can't leave that. This we can go. Are you sure? Yeah, leave. I tell you, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry for the delay. Welcome to the Happy Oyster Show. What's happening, soundtrack? Oh, I got a great show. You know, a really cool show. But it was going to be on the laptop. Then the laptop crapped out. And it's not really a crap out. It just wasn't go. I don't know. I'm going to wait a little bit and let you guys come on in. Yeah, 3 times. 3 times a lady. All right. Everybody got their coffee? I'm going to wait a little bit. Let everybody catch in. Ay, yay, and double yay. All right, let's see what we got going on. I can't mess up any of these things because I got something I got to show you guys. You guys are going to love it. It's a totally interesting idea. Nah, it's just, I'm going to have to hold, now I got to switch. Only great minds can switch, and that's even in my notes, as a matter of fact. I got a whole bunch of notes. Oh boy, guys. Thanks, and double thanks for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. We had like 15 people waiting. We only got 6 going on here now. What's going on? I don't have a, oh man. Good thing I went to the phone. That was my last resort. I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. Not really. Here, hang on. Always, never a dull moment. You know what I mean? Yeah, I hear you, Calvin. I hear you, found you. I'm trying to find myself. All right, here we go. Happy Oyster Live. Goodbye, Q3. Oh, there it is. There it is. Take 3 today. We had to take 2. That didn't work. Where was the first one? The first one was my priorities or something. Philosophies or where was that one go? Because that is the name of the title today. My philosophies were definitely tested this week, and I cannot tell a lie. Were they tested, or were they just reaffirmed, or were they confirmed, or whatever you want to call it? A lot of my philosophies came from my father. My father, Joseph Burke, and I'm still learning from my father, believe it or not. He kind of taught me that, you know, 1/3 of the people in the world are going to like you, 1/3 of the people are going to hate you, and 1/3 of them really don't give a shit or have no opinion of you. He says, those are the ones that you got to work on. He says, the ones that hate you, you know what? The heck with them. Leave them alone. Good morning, Helsinki. What's going on? So, the 1/3 that like you. So you have to work on the people that don't like you, or that don't have an opinion, or whatever it may be. That was one of my father's days. I got a couple of other ones that I got to show you, and it's on this computer over here, and I'm gonna try to hold the camera, the phone up next to it. I had it all set up ready to go with the laptop. Everything was gonna be cool. But of course, I don't know. Something's the matter with the laptop, I guess. I don't know. Let me see if I can get you over here so I can see the better comments. I like it better when I can see the comments. One-man show. You know, we are the Happy Oyster. I really appreciate all you guys tuning in each and every day. Every weekend, excuse me, on Saturday. We do come time. I'm a little bit, you know, I'm a little bit, I don't know. I'm going to wait a little bit for a second because, again, it took, really sucks. I wish I had like an IT guy, like I use that, but nah, I don't have that. I can't afford that. You know, my dad always said something, 1/3 of us are bus drivers, and 1/3, or no, excuse me, not 1/3, half of us are bus drivers, and half of us are dispatchers. And you got to think about that for a minute. What do you mean by that? You know, leaders, leadership, all of that kind of stuff. So you think about it, and my dad, the way he explained it was awesome. He says, you know, you got a group of 10 guys, and you're all digging a ditch. He says, well, one guy digging that ditch gets the golden shovel. That's a special shovel because he gets a little bit more money, but in turn for that little bit more money, he's got to make sure that all of these guys are doing the right thing. They're digging properly, they're here, and they're, you know, whatever it may be. That one guy is the foreman of that whole 10 guys that are there. That guy's kind of a dispatcher to a certain degree. Wouldn't you agree? So, and then that dispatcher guy reports to a supervisor. And that supervisor is now, he's like, you know, that next level. The supervisor, he has to make sure that the golden shovel guy is doing his job, but in turn with it, also he's a supervisor, he also has another golden shovel and maybe 3 or 4 other golden shovels, and each one of those golden shovels have about 10 guys underneath them, and he, the supervisor, once in a while, he has to coach, he has to help, he has to mold, kind of, the guy with the golden shovel to help him get his job, because you know what, that supervisor has to report to the project manager. The project manager now, he has to deal with ding, 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 all the way down the road. Project manager not necessarily wants to deal with, but he's got to be good and nice and cool, and he's got, you know, again, he's the project manager. He's way up there. Is he way up there? Well, but again, there's only 2 types of people in this world. There are bus drivers and there are dispatchers. This is my father. This whole thing is my father. Okay. I'm trying to repeat it as best I can. The last time I heard this story was probably 30-something years ago. So now the project supervisor, or the project manager, excuse me, the supervisor, so you got the golden shovel guy, you got the supervisor, and then you got the project manager. Now the project manager has to also report to the board of directors. The board of directors. Ooh. That sounds fancy. Well, there's a whole bunch of those guys, so consequently, I guess, sounds like we all have to be a little bit of a bus driver. Don't you think, Bart? Yeah, Normie. Yeah. Obviously, there's places that you can go. Leaders is what I'm kind of getting at. Being a leader, becoming a leader. All right, enough of that. Let's see if this is going to work. I hope this is going to work. Am I going to be able to hold this steady enough? All right, let's see what goes on here. You guys might want to get a tissue for this. It could get a little... Every time I see it, I get a little teary. I hope I can hold it steady. Uh-oh. What happened here? Oh, here we go. We're all right. We're good. Hang on. We got TJP coming in the house. I don't know where she was, but whatever. Let me turn it around here. Let me turn this around for a second. This is gonna work. Baby. All right. Bing and bing. All right. Good deal. I think I should be able to hold this. Has anybody seen this before? If you've seen this before, please, hey, don't, let me get her going. All right, you ready? I hope it's loud enough. Here we go. Hi, guys. Father has rose upon the horizon of the perfect, endless in a workshop filled with everything he desires. Joseph Burke, Mr. Pump, born 6/18/1932, has broke on through to the other side on 10/22/14 at the age of 82. He had a short but serious illness. Of course, it was cancer. He died with his family at home. Which brings me to today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is East End Hospice, helping you get to the place you gotta get to. A lot of great people over there. I'm making a little humor of it. East End Hospice really helped me out. I had to bring it to you guys, the board of directors, first, before I brought it to anybody else. I felt an obligation to you guys. He loved you guys. He thought you guys and YouTube and the whole new himself, he thought it was the best. And he was very proud of his YouTube presence, his fans, his business, and everything that he did. He was just so proud of all of the board of directors, and he was just enamored with the whole idea and where we were taking the family business. The future is very we're very fortunate to have been blessed with his presence. If it's all right with you guys, I got a couple of things I'd like to share with you. One of the things that my father taught me, and it's always stuck with me, no matter how tough you are, there is always someone who is tougher, who is stronger, who is richer, and who is smarter than you. So you better make damn sure that you're humble in whatever you do. Very fitting for my father. He was a humble guy, he was a smart guy, and he liked to share everything with all of you guys as well. There will be no funeral, as he was not a very religious man, but he was very spiritual, and he was uplifting, and he lended a hand for everybody. I'm not going to belabor it. I'm not going to go on and on and talk about this and talk about that and all of the above. But I would like to share just 5 things that my father never said. Let's hold off on this issue until the next meeting. He loved to get resolution. If you had a problem, put it out on the table. Let's get this cleared up. That was my father. Hold all my calls. He never said that. He was always reachable. No matter what he was doing, he would always make time out to hear you. I don't know. Not in his vocabulary. If he didn't know, he wasn't going to tell you, and he was going to go and find out exactly how to or what it was or that he didn't know. He'll find the answer, and he won't stop until he did. Sorry, I'm late. Never came out of his mouth. You know why it never came out of his mouth? Because he was never late. He told you he was going to be there. He was there. You can set the clock. The last and final thing that he never ever said was, I can't do that. Mm-mm. He did it all. And if he couldn't do it, he found somebody that could, and he got it done. He loved all you guys and girls. And one of the things you deal with when you're in New York State, the questions and paperwork, and one was, what was his occupation? Wow. He was 82 years old. He had many occupations throughout his life. I didn't know what to say. I sat back and I thought about it, and I'm thinking about it, and, there's that awkward silence where, well, you can say whatever you want, what was it? The light went off in my head. That was easy. I know what he was most patient. He was an internet personality. What was the business? It was the bike man for you. He will be sorely missed. We love Mr. Pump. I'm not going to belabor it. I love all you guys. Thanks for being friends. Thanks for being a fan. Much more to say, except for one thing. The bike man for you is here. Yeehaw! Yeah. All right, let me flip this back around. I miss him too. Everybody got their tissue out. Everybody take care of that. I watched that at least 2 or 3 times this week. It's coming up on 4 years my dad's been gone. Every week I come on your Happy Oyster show. I love you guys. This is my therapy. This is what keeps me going. This is what makes me tick. It's you guys. I love sharing it with you. I just love it. One of the last things my dad said to me, he said, and sometimes I had I had a little bit of a short fuse, a little bit. He says, don't get mad, don't get angry. He says, you gotta be patient. Sometimes you gotta walk away. Save it for when you really, really need it. Yeah. I listened to that one. Oh, leaders, and leaders. My dad was a leader. My dad was a big-time leader in many different ways. And, one of his things was either lead, follow, or get out of the way. I gave you that little story about supervisor and golden shovel and foreman and project manager and all that baloney. There's one thing about being the lead dog, the boss. Okay? Being the lead guy, the lead dog, the dog that's making the trail. One really, really good thing about that. And I like it myself. Okay? And you might like it too, or maybe not. Who knows, okay? But when you're the lead dog, you could fall off the cliff. You could crash into the river. You could turn the thing over. You could lose the guy who's in the back, the way back, that's got that, the whip. The guy doesn't hit the dog with a whip, by the way. Whatever. It's just, get his attention, whatever. I don't even think they really, you don't want to lose that guy. The lead dog doesn't want to lose the guy in the, The best thing about being the lead dog is that you don't have to keep on staring at a bunch of assholes. Does that make sense? It's a little cocky. So be it. Now, how do you get to be the lead dog? Norman, Mr. Pump, my father, This is everything I'm going here. This whole show, okay, is dedicated to personal philosophies. My personal philosophies, for which I have learned from my father. If you're learning something new about my father, well then so be it. Okay. One of my things my father always said to me, he says, Bart, if you want to be the lead dog, you got to eat feathers you got to eat crow until the feathers stick out of your mouth. What do you mean? One minute you're telling me to be a hard ass and a tough guy and don't snip a bunch of butt. And the next minute you're telling me I got to eat crow until the feathers stick. Isn't that kind of an ass kisser, Norman? Eating crow until the feathers stick out of your mouth. Aren't you kissing this guy's ass? He goes, yeah, you sure are. He says, it's okay to be an ass kisser. As long as you like the ass that you're kissing. Woo, man. Bang, man. I didn't know where he was going when he told me that. And then it all came clear. Being a leader. Being a leader also has its limitations too, because sometimes you can't really necessarily show emotion. You have to be strong. You have to be tough sometimes. On the other side of the coin, you have to be, it's a delicate balance. But being a leader is one thing that you have to do. And this is, my father was, he was so wise. He says, you got to check your baggage at the door when you go through that door to your job. What do you mean check your baggage at the door? He says, you got to leave all your problems at the door. And when you get into that front door, bing, everything is about attitude. 90% attitude, 10% what happens to you. Is there a sermon today? Yeah, maybe. Reverend, you're listening? How am I doing? Getting rid of the bike, when I was in the bike shop and when my father was in the bike shop, and again, my dad had some, and again, we were both right there through and through. The only way that the partnership would work is if it was a father-son type of thing. Partnerships sometimes are very difficult, and we often thought about bringing somebody on, and we did this, and we thought, let's just keep on trugging along together, and we did. One of his things on his list was a partnership is no ship. Because you always want to be a lead dog, because you don't want to have to, whatever. Let me get back here for a second. One-third, yeah, all right, I'm covered it all. I'm doing good. I did good. Lead, follow, get out of the way. I've always been fascinated by leaders. By leaders and how to lead and how to get along with people. And again, it comes down again. You have to eat crow until the feathers stick out of your mouth, and whatever it may be. But you also got to be your own person, and you have to be true to your word. Reverend, you got to come back, okay? You got to make sure you see the rest of this, because I thought about you. I thought about being that sermon guy or whatever. I'm the guy. And Trey McAnally, I love you. He was one of the few preacher men I really liked. Besides you, Reverend. He said to me, he says, Bart, he had a very deep voice, and he talked he said something along the lines of, Bart, you should be a shaman. And I'm like, a shaman? I had to go look it up and find out exactly what a shaman was. This is 25, 30 years ago. I love that guy. Anyway, being a leader and leaders kind of makes me tick. It's what I like. Are you taking your meds? Whatever. No, I'm high on life, man. Getting rid of the bike shop is the best thing I ever did. Every single week, somebody comes on, I like the old show. I miss Bike Man. Hey, guys, come on. It's over. It's done. It's finished. We're moving on. It was a great run. Everyone wanted to laugh. I kissed a lot of ass. Because I had to, again, Normie always said, the customer's always right. The customer is always right. It's your job, Bart, to get your money out of their pocket. That's what you gotta do, Bart. Ain't that the truth? I get tired of kissing ass after a while. How many bosses did I have? Oh my God! Let's go back to a live show when we're really kicking, okay? If the customer's always right, and that was my boss, right? Because that was the guy with the golden shovel. That was the dispatcher. I was finished. I'm done. And sometimes that's what you gotta do. When you think that the customer is wrong, it's time to go back to rule number one. The customer's always right. Bad. The customer, I mean, very infrequently, but once in a blue moon, the customer really is wrong. Then you have to make a decision. And it could be a tough one. Again, what's the ultimate goal? Is the ultimate goal to be the lead dog? The customer's always right. When the customer's wrong, it's time to go on. Well, that leads me again. What did I say? The customer's always right. The customer is your boss. Again. So what's the difference? The boss is always right. If you don't think that the boss is right, then you're going to have to make a decision. Because it's a decision that's got to last within you. It all comes down to you. It's how you don't feel that you are pressured into anything. Buck stops with you, Bart. It's time to get out if the boss is wrong. It's time to move on. You think you can do it better? Go ahead. That was my dad. Those are my philosophies. That's what I live by. I had to share that one with you today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Because I put a lot of thought into this one, man. A lot of thought. And whether I'm right and whether I'm wrong, whatever. Okay? I love you, Mr. Pump. I love you, Dad. Each and every week we come on a Saturday. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I hope you guys tune in next week. Next week we will be live. I don't know if it's on the phone, if it's on the computer, if it's on whatever, okay? But it will be on. Sorry for the caps. It's never too late. Who you want to be might have been. Yeah, I agree with that one. Ain't that the truth? All right, guys. I love yous. Please tune in next week. Please. See you next week.